Good morning, everyone. Hopefully now everyone is awake. And I just want to let you guys know that if you are a parent and you have snuck in here and you're just sitting there with your sunglasses and your hat pulled down low, this is not the session for you. You have another session in another part of campus, and it's cool. You can sneak away now, no judgment. Any parents? Any parents? Yeah, nobody look. Don't make eye contact if they're trying to sneak out. Okay, all right. Friends, this is the unchaperoned portion of your orientation. Congratulations. You've also made it halfway through orientation. And we're excited to have you here this morning because we have a little bit of a different kind of presentation for you. So first, just to introduce myself, I'm Erin Monis. I'm an associate chaplain here at Baylor, and also I'm your director for chapel. Fun fact, I am new to Baylor, just like you guys are. I got here about 6 months ago and got started. I came all the way from Georgia. Anybody here from Georgia? Oh, do I see one? Oh my gosh, okay, that just made my morning, y'all. Usually it's nobody, but hey, bless you for being here. We're a long way out from Atlanta. But I know you guys are from all over, and during this part of this presentation, you'll get a chance to kind of get to know each other and where you're from and your Baylor story. So we have part one of this session is me and my friend Dorian from Student Life. We are going to talk you through some things, and I'll have Dorian come up here and introduce herself when she comes up to present. And then we're going to hand it off halfway to our friends from Multicultural Affairs, and they're going to talk about how we are the Baylor family. But to tell you a little bit about what's different about this presentation, I'm going to give you just a little bit of an analogy. Orientation is a lot when it comes to information. Yesterday and today, you guys get a lot of info, which is good. These are the big, good things. These are the things I like to think go into like the big checked bag that you pack coming to college, right? The big check bag. And that's like housing and your student schedule and student conduct and all of these important things that you want to have in that bag. But this session is going to be about what's in your carry-on. Did anybody fly to get here? All right, great, wonderful. So you packed to fly on the plane. Usually when I pack to fly on the plane, normally in my carry-on, I just put what I need for the actual plane, right? You know, just like a book, a laptop, maybe my contact case if I want to sleep or something like that. Well, a few years ago, I was actually flying to England for a conference, and I flew out of Atlanta, Georgia, because that's where I lived at the time. So I fly out of Atlanta, I fly to England, and I don't sleep on the plane. Which, if you've ever done that flight, you really should sleep on the plane. So it flies through the night. I don't get any sleep. I'm like a zombie when I get into Heathrow. I go to the area to get my baggage claim, and the little conveyor belt, you know, is just kind of looping around. And I'm sort of staring at it, I'm very glazed over. And I don't see my bag. No bag. So I'm processing things a little slow. I'm making my way over to the service counter where this chirpy Mary Poppins woman says, "So I'll look up your bag," and she's like, "Oh, love, it's safe in Phoenix." Again, I'm a little slow, so I just go, "Arizona?" Yes, they had sent my bag to Arizona from Atlanta, and I'm in England. So this created this great adventure where I realized that for the next however many days, which it did take about half the trip to get me my bag from Arizona, meant that I wouldn't have a checked bag. I would only have what was in my carry-on. And I had chosen poorly. And so now, friends, from that instance, I pack my carry-on very differently. And that's what we want to do today with the questions we're going to raise and the topics we're going to cover. We want to talk about things that will help you in case things don't go according to plan. In case you are looking to get the most out of your Baylor experience, but the things that you thought were going to go a certain way don't always go a certain way. We want you to start thinking now about some of the transitions you're going to make, because having that stuff in your carry-on is going to be great to have if the stuff in your checked bag doesn't turn out to be as helpful as you originally thought it was going to be. So this is a different kind of session. It's not a ton of information, but it is just us having a conversation about this huge transition you're about to make to college. But before we begin, because we are about halfway through, I want to start first just by checking in. Let's just take a moment to be present. Times like this can be crazy overwhelming because you're moving from place to place to place, getting thing after thing after thing, and you often don't get a chance to stop and actually reflect on, am I tired? Am I okay? How do I feel about this? How are we processing things? So we're just going to start off first by doing a couple of mindfulness and grounding and breathing exercises just to kind of make the transition. We're halfway through. So here's what I'm going to have you do. I would like everyone just kind of find a comfortable position, putting both feet grounded on the floor. And you can rest your hands on the armrest or in your lap. I want you to sit tall, roll your shoulders up and let them drop. And keep your head tall like a string's coming out of the top of your head to a balloon. Okay, great, perfect. Now we're going to do a little bit of deep breathing. And deep breathing is helpful not just because it's a nice thing to do when you're stressed, but that rush of oxygen through your nasal cavity to your brain actually relieves those fight or flight symptoms that cause the physiological effects of anxiety. And so if you are feeling anxious, if this is kind of an overwhelming moment, then this gives us a chance to work through that. But actually, before we do this deep breathing exercise, I forgot one very important thing. I want to just do a general check-in. I want you guys to raise your hand and show me on your hand 1 to 5 how you're doing today. 1 is I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm overwhelmed, I didn't sleep at all last night, my social anxiety is like peaking out. And 5 is I'm great, I'm amazing, the food here is wonderful, I came half an hour early to this session, let's go. So let's put your hands up and show me on 1 to 5, scale of 1 to 5, how are we doing, how are we doing, how are we doing? Okay, okay. Okay. All right, honest people, honest people. Good, good. Awesome. Okay, great. Okay, that's good, that's good. Put your hands down. You guys are doing better than I would have anticipated. All right, yeah, come on in, guys. Have a seat. Okay, let's ground ourselves again. Both feet flat on the floor, sitting tall, arms resting, shoulders up, drop. And let's do that deep breathing. Okay, so we're going to start in through the nose, big deep breath in through the nose. We're going to hold it, and we're going to go out through our mouth. So let's do that. In through the nose, hold it, out through the mouth. Good. Let's do that again. In through the nose, big deep breath. Hold it, out through the mouth. Good, good, good. Let's do it again. In through the nose, hold it, out through the mouth. Good. On this one, I want you to just count the seconds it takes on that inhale and on the exhale. And this is a way for you to just pay attention to your breathing, sort of clear your mind. So on that inhale, let's do it. In through the nose, count the seconds. Then out through the mouth. Count those. Your exhale should be just a few ticks longer than your inhale. Let's do that again with the counting in and out. Okay, great. Now that we've just kind of cleared our mind a little bit, I want you guys to close your eyes. We're going to do a body scan. It's okay, guys. Close your eyes. Don't worry. I'm not going to ask you to do anything crazy. I'm not going to ask you who wants to give their life to Jesus. It's okay. We're just going to live here. This is just you to remove distraction. Just close your eyes. Okay. Now we're going to start, and I just want you to pay attention to your body. We're going to see if you're holding tension anywhere. So just start feeling your feet on the floor, feeling the chair beneath you. Start working up and check in and think about how your legs are feeling. Let's just start there. Start with the legs. It could be sore and stiff from sitting through these sessions. They could be sore from running from place to place. Maybe that's where you've locked in some tension. Maybe you didn't sleep in a great bed last night. Okay, let's move up into your stomach. How's your stomach feeling? A lot of us hold tension in our stomach, and that's a key place where we can detect anxiety before it really hits us. How's your stomach doing? You're holding attention there. We're not judging anything here. We're just noting. We're just taking note of things. So now let's move up into the chest, the back, and the shoulders. I have a lot of tension in my back. It's usually where it is. And again, just take note. Are you holding tension there? Are you feeling a little stressed? This is just you checking in and being present with yourself. Very, very simple. Again, no judgment. And if you are holding any tension, if you have detected any tension in your body, what I'd like us to do is I want you to start by tensing up the muscles of your body. Ball up your fist. Clench your arms, your legs, your core. Just flex as many of those muscles as possible. Just hold it for a second, clench, and then release. Just relax every muscle you can, like in one big exhale. Let's do that again. Clench those muscles, tense, 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 tense. Release. Release those. Okay, very good. Now let's do a couple more deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. Hold it, out through the mouth. One more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Great. You guys are great. Now everybody stand up and shake it out. Shake it out. Stand up and shake it out. There we go. This is in case anybody fell asleep during the mindfulness exercise. familiar with some of the things that we just did, but in case you're not, you should know that what we did involved grounding, it involved a body scan, and it involved deep breathing. There's lots of different kinds of breathing that help with anxiety, but we wanted to start off because this next section we're going to talk about prioritizing your mental health. And this is going to be about thinking through what sort of plan you're going to have, actually paying attention to what's going on. We usually have a friend from the care team who couldn't be here today, who would be up here, but if she was up here, she would tell you a story about when she was a freshman at Baylor and how she never really checked in on how she was doing. And when she went home for the first time for a holiday break, she slept for like 16 hours straight because she was just so exhausted, but she had no idea. And this is a common thing that can happen when you're at a new place and you're sort of paying attention to one foot in front of the other and you're not really able to check in and say, am I okay? Am I tired? Just knowing how you're doing and how you're processing things. So to give you a couple of those tools and to let you know about places here at Baylor that we have set up for you to help, please welcome my friend Dorian Beverly to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. How are y'all? Good. All right. My name is Dorian, and I am the Assistant Director for Community Service. Did I talk to any of you yesterday at the table? Okay, yeah, I see some hands. All right, and if you're at the back, feel free to come and sit down, don't stand or sit on the floor back there. So, like Aaron mentioned, we're going to talk a little bit about prioritizing your mental and emotional health. How many of you really enjoy being stressed and overwhelmed?
Oh yeah!
I mean, okay, thank you. Like, it's the best that you could ever have. It makes your skin look great. Your hair is all shiny. Pretty sure you smell great. How many of you like ignoring how your body feels and your emotions? No, that's not good. Don't ignore your body. Don't ignore how you feel. I did not go away for school. Like, I went 7 miles away from home. I'm from Waco. Anybody from Waco? Yes, thank you. That's right, we're taking over. So I didn't have far to go, but I did go away for my internship, went out of state, and thought that I was fine, was making it. And then I came home, and I was great. Flight, I was great. Packing, I was great. I was great. And then I came home, I put my hand on the doorknob to walk into the house, and I immediately just fell to the ground and just cried. And cried and cried. And I was like, oh no. What happened to I'm great? Yeah, check in before then. Don't have that moment on the porch in front of the neighborhood. Check in with yourself throughout the semester. It's so important. There are other resources on this campus. There are things that you can do to help yourself out so you don't become overwhelmed. We have counselors. We have care teams. The care team, what they do is in their name. They care. They care about you and how you are doing while you're here and while you're away from us. How many of you are in residence halls? Should be all of you in some kind of residence hall situation. Yeah, you have leaders, you have CLs, you have chaplains in some of your halls. Check in with them. We have all sorts of resources. And if you can't find somebody, come find me. Come find me, come find Aaron. We are always happy to talk with you, always happy to sit with you or walk with you. How many of you do anything to relieve stress like run? Anybody out here run to relieve stress? I love that for you. If you invite me to run with you, I will call Baylor police to come and rescue me from you. Anybody do anything else fun to relieve stress? Yell it out. It has to be appropriate. Yell it out. What do you do to relieve stress? Anybody take a lot of naps? Okay, naps are great. I even stretch before a nap. They are wonderful. Anybody? Music, love it. Music. We may have mentioned to you that we have almost 400 student organizations. We will talk to you a little bit about that later. But there are ways for you to kind of get involved in some things that you are happy to do, that you're passionate about, things that are fun, that aren't geared towards academics, like maybe you like to row or you like to fish. That could be a great outlet for you and help you relieve some of that stress and take your mind off of your daily schedule. So the next thing that we are going to talk about is transitioning, and I'll bring Erin back up here, because who thinks college and moving away is going to be the easiest thing that you do? All right, Blake, you and I are I'm ready. Okay. Yes, my parents had to kick me out of the nest. I was very much not ready and not great at making friends, and terrified of living with a stranger. Absolutely terrified. The number of documentaries that I watched before I came here, I was certain my roommate was just going to murder me. But here's Erin to make you feel better about this transition.
Thank you for the murder segue. That's But yeah, let's talk about transitions. Let's talk about some of the things that often just slip people's minds when they're actually making this transition. You're gearing up, you're getting all this info, but a lot is also happening inside of you. A lot is also happening relationally to you, mentally to you. And so we want to give you a chance to just bring some of those things to the surface so that between now and when you come in the fall, you can take some time to actually pay attention to these transitions and work through them in a way that is best for you and your family. So first of all, show of hands, how many of you have spent at least one full week away from your parents and home? Okay, keep them up. Good, okay. How many spent 2 weeks? 3 weeks? A month? 2 months? 3 months? Okay. Some of y'all, okay, you guys put your hands down. Some of y'all have got stories to tell, that's for sure. For most people, coming to college, and for many of you, this is the truth. Coming to college is the longest you have been away from your family of origin, from your home, living in a new environment for an extended period of time. And I mentioned this because you're like, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm coming to college. But it has an effect on you because moving from one environment that you're entirely familiar with to an environment that's totally new has an effect on you, one way or another. Now, I was sort of the opposite of Dorian for myself. I was so ready to go to college. My parents dropped me off and I was like, bye. See you later. I got fun things to do. Depending on where you are though in the spectrum, it doesn't matter because for all of us, it's gonna have an effect on moving from one place to the other. And that effect is going to happen in the way that you make the transition and the way you meet new people and the fact that you are now living with people your own age instead of this variety of people in your household, which is going to be a big lesson, hopefully not a lesson that ends in murder, but a lesson that ultimately is you discovering what you're like in a setting living with somebody else and how you deal with other people who live differently than you. We're going to talk a little bit later in the session about how we work as a Baylor family in sort of a diverse setting, but I just want to start by giving you a couple things. And the first is just recognizing that transitions mean you're likely going to make some mistakes. This is new. This is a whole new thing, and while Baylor does a great job of setting you up for success and giving you a ton of resources and a ton of help making that transition, you guys should know that you're probably going to make some mistakes in the transition, and that's okay because this is new for everybody. So I'm firsthand on this because when I was a freshman, I made all the mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes when I was a freshman in college. One of the probably more popular mistakes that I made as a roommate was, see, back when I lived in Georgia, we have really cold winters there up in North Georgia. And so on cold mornings when I lived with my parents, I would take my socks and I would put them in the dryer and I'd warm them up. And I get to wear nice, cozy, warm socks to school on a cold morning. But now I'm in college, I'm a freshman, and the dryer actually costs quarters. So I went to college 100 years ago, and it cost quarters. We were sent with like a roll of quarters, and you coveted those quarters, and you didn't let anyone touch those quarters. And I was like, I don't want to spend my laundry money, just warm my socks up. But I'm a problem solver. So I thought, the microwave. Yes, I can tell by your reactions, you were all a lot smarter than I, and you realized what's coming next. No. So when they caught fire, I immediately tried to of course, I didn't have a fire extinguisher, but I did have a lot of unwashed dishes that had about that much like coffee and milk in the bowl. And so I just started dumping on there. And I did get the fire out. No alarm, no fire truck, no fuss, nobody knew. But my roommate. She was coming back from a weekend away, and as she's coming up the stairwell, right at that moment when I had put out my little fire, she comes down the hall, and she gets the whiff of burning argyle. And she says, Lord Jesus, please let that smell like coming from my room. And when she gets there, of course, I'm just sitting on the floor with this pile of smoldering socks in front of me, all these dishes around me, and she just walks in, and she's and I'm like, what do you say, right? Like, I was that roommate, right? I was that roommate. She went on to be an RA or CL after that and never had a roommate again. So, I was that roommate. I was the one. But you make mistakes. I know it's kind of a silly story, but you don't always function the same way because everything is new and everything is different and you're just trying to navigate it. So my point for making transitions, my big takeaway that I hope you guys learn from this is we have to give ourselves some grace. You have to give yourself some grace for this transition. And also give your roommates grace, because some of them are idiots, just like I was. And some of them have habits that are going to annoy you, and some of them are going to be people that you thought you got along with, but you don't always get along with. And they're here making mistakes too. And so if you're prepared for that, you're going to be able to be a little bit more flexible. You're going to have some of that resilience and malleability. And if you're thinking about that now, knowing that you need grace for yourself and grace for the people that you live with, I promise you it's going to be a much more pleasant experience. But there's one more group that you have to have grace for, and that's your parents. So your parents are in another session right now learning about these transitions as well. So I wanted to take a minute and talk to you guys a little bit about this transition, because regardless of your relationship with your parents, this is a big transition. This is a big move, because for many of you, the people who raised you have been dealing with you as a small, dependent person since you entered their lives. And because of that, they've been operating this one way this whole time, and now something is about to happen. But it doesn't happen all at once. It happens kind of gradually while you're here. I remember the first time I went home for Christmas from college, my parents gave me a curfew. And I was like, I've been living away for 4 months, going to bed whenever I want, making my own choices, and now I'm home and my parents are giving me a curfew. These are some of the things that I talk to students about all the time, because in the midst of this transition, you are working more and more towards becoming an adult, so that hopefully, when you cross that graduation stage in 4, 5, maybe 6 years, I don't know, some of you guys like to do some victory laps, but whenever you cross that graduation stage, you will be more of an independent adult in the moment that you are transitioning out of your home into college at this point. And that transition means that it's gonna get a little tricky with your parents, but guys, your parents, they've been raising you this whole time. This is the mode they've been in, and no one gives them a manual. No one gives them an email, there's not a memo, there's nothing that says, okay, here's how you start treating your child once they come to college. And for how many of you are the first person, you're the first sibling in your home to be coming to college? Okay, yeah, for a lot of you guys, this is the first time your parents are navigating this, and we're gonna need some grace. My advice to students, and I talk about this with students all the time, is during this time, be intentional about reaching out to your parents and talking to them. When my parents gave me that curfew, I was mad. And it was almost until the very end of that break that I finally sat down with them and thought, and really just had an honest conversation. Why did you give me a curfew? But you know what? We ended up having a great conversation where they realized that they were just trying to do their best with all this and they didn't know what to do. And so we came to an understanding, and after that we didn't have that same problem anymore, but we still had stuff to navigate, and that's okay. That's part of this transition as well. And you have the next few years to make that transition with your folks. Now, another classic mistake that I made freshman year, because I made them, I told you guys, I made a lot of them. I didn't call my mom on her birthday. Someone said, oh, that's really very unfortunate. Yes. Yeah, no. And it gets worse, because then a couple days later, I called her to ask for money. Yeah, friends, if you find yourself in a freshman year and you're like, I am doing all of this wrong, come talk to me. I will be your buddy. Like, we can work through this together, because I've been there. I got out of the doghouse the next year because my brother forgot her birthday and I remember, so all's been well. But you want to reach out to your parents. You want to get in touch with them. You want to keep those conversations going. And for some of you, that is a possibility because you have a decent and healthy relationship with your folks. Now, we also know that that's not everybody. We know that sometimes home is not always the greatest or best place for everyone. So for those of you who are like, yeah, Aaron, I can't have that conversation with my parents, we want to, again, point you towards the resources here. Come talk to me. Come talk to the other chaplains in the Spiritual Life Center. Talk to the care team. Talk to counselors. We have so many resources for you here, and we can help you navigate this transition, but this transition is happening nonetheless. And we want you guys starting to think about that now and planning now to remember that transition is happening so that, again, you can be more flexible, you can be more malleable when that happens, and it's not such a shock, and you're sitting there going, why are my parents freaking out about all this stuff? You can have some grace for them, you can have some grace for you, and please, also have grace for your roommates because, we're all just trying out there. But know that this is a transition, mistakes will be made, and we are just going to try to give ourselves some grace. So those are a couple things we want you to put in your carry-on. Those are a couple things we want you thinking about, because if you do and are intentional about that, your transition is going to be a lot smoother here to Baylor. So let's talk a little bit about what you do when you get here. So I'm going to bring Dorian back up. You guys can give her some walk-up claps. We really need some walk-up music. That would be fantastic. I don't know if I'm that technologically savvy yet. But we want to talk to you about campus engagement and involvement. Now, we met some of you guys at the tabling session yesterday, and some of you were like, yes, I am ready to get involved. And some of you were like, so many tables. It's okay, it's okay. Coming to college is a lot, and we want to give you a little bit of help in how to think about campus engagement and involvement. So, first of all, let's just take a quick poll of the room. How many of you did extracurriculars in high school? Yes, most of you, indeed. Okay, how many of you did sports? Lots of sports. How about student government? Oh, yeah, a lot less. Okay, yeah, no, it's okay, it's all good. How many of you guys did service or community service through your church or another organization or were involved? Yeah, awesome. How many of you guys were just a part of clubs, academic clubs or service clubs or things like that? Great. Yes, this does not surprise us at all. Because these things look good on a college transcript. Yes, they look at for colleges, and you guys did them, and that is great, but you did them to get into a good college, and congratulations. You're here. You did it. Wonderful. But we want to talk about what causes you to get involved now. See, no one's going to look at your resume when you're being hired after you have your wonderful time at Baylor, and they're going to say, oh, I see you play pickleball, you're a lovely, well-rounded person, we'll hire you. Like, why have extracurriculars now? Now that you've gotten to college, why make those choices? Some of you guys made choices about what you did in high school simply because it looked good on that transcript. Did anybody do an activity that they didn't really love, but they knew it would help them out in terms of, it's okay, you're already in, you can be honest now, you can be out there like, yeah, it's okay, we do that because we're motivated to get where we want to get, and that was a part of the process that got you here. But now that you're here, why get involved? Why make the choices that you make? So, Dorian, can you give us some best tips about getting involved?
Yes, I can. All right. We've already discussed that you did everything in the world when you were in high school. Who thinks you have to do everything in the world now that you're here in college? Woo! Put your hand down. No, you will burn yourself out. We want you to not only come here and get your degree, because that's important, but we want you to enjoy yourself while you're here. We want you to make memories. We want you to make friends. We want you to learn new things and experience new things. Don't do as much as you did when you were in high school. That is our pro tip that is written on our piece of paper. You don't have the time. You don't have the time to do all of the things that you did in high school at the college level. I would love to be able to give you that, but I cannot. So do the things that you are going to be passionate about, that you are going to stick to, that you are going to enjoy, that will actually give you some stress relief, some peace, some connections that would be valuable to you, that will help create some supports for you. Do those things. You also probably stayed in some groups and did some activities in high school longer than you should have, longer than you wanted to. You don't have to do that here. If it does not fit, you can find something else that might be a better fit for you. If I invite you to something and it's a service opportunity and you give it a shot and it just was not the thing for you, great, just let me know. I'm not going to be upset about it. I want you to go and find the thing that is going to be a great match for you, because when you leave here, we want you to still continue some of these same things. It's in our mission statement. We are wanting to prepare you all for global leadership and service. This is where it starts. If it didn't really start in high school or anywhere else for you, this is where it should begin. These habits of going out and connecting with other people, of serving with other people, of finding your place. Where? So that was our how, where. Where can you get involved? CLNL we've mentioned. In your residence halls, you will have tons of times to gather with each other, to receive announcements, to do activities together. You'll have some things that are in your discipline, your major. We have different things in student life for you to become involved in. We have all of the student organizations. I have service, mission trips, disaster relief. We have so many ways for you to become engaged in campus with each other and with the campus itself. We also have ways for you to become informed and engaged with our surrounding community. Who is going to live in Waco for the next 4 years? I better see all of the hands in here. You're all going to live in Waco with me. Don't you love it? Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Even if you don't decide to stay in the beautiful city of Waco after 4 years, I'll let you go. But I want you to go with a love of this place. I want you to go with an understanding and experiences here that you will tell your kids about later on. I want you to develop habits that when you go to your new place, wherever you're going to live next, you'll learn how to engage with the people there. You'll learn how to love what's there. Find the place where you're going to go run. Find the place where you like to go and get coffee. Find the place where you want to go and serve, where you want to go and worship. All of these things, you should be practicing this now with us. And I'm going to give this to you. Why?
Yes, just to kind of round out, Dorian is saying so many good things, and I just want to emphasize those because oftentimes we see people kind of doing the same thing that they did in high school and realizing, oh, I need to switch gears, I need to think differently about this because I'm coming into college and there are different objectives. And what happens a lot of times, people overcommit, they get over-involved, they get involved in things that maybe they think they should be involved in but are not actually something that they enjoy, and by midterm season, they start dropping off. And so you can preempt that by actually starting to think now. And I want to give you a couple things that can help with that decision, not just the where, but the why. The first and foremost is we want you to connect with others. We want you to be with other people. How many of you knew somebody in this room before you came to orientation? Okay, all right. Yeah, that's plenty of you. How many of you, since you've been at orientation, have made a friend that you're like, this is my friend, I have made some friends, okay. Oh yeah, that's so nice. I always love this question because people are like, yes, this is my new friend, and they're like, it's okay, y'all got time. I'm not gonna ask how many people have not made friends, that's just not, we're not gonna make you raise your hand on that, it's okay. Connecting with people is important for a lot of reasons. First of all, college is more than academics. College is more than academics. We want you guys to get involved with people because you're more than just an academic machine. Do we want you to do well in your classes? Absolutely. You're going to do so many amazing things. You're going to learn so many amazing things. But you are more than just a product of a machine. We want you guys to actually be involved because there's more to do in college that will develop you than just the classroom. Also, you guys heard University Chaplain Burt Burleson last night talk about some of the values that we have as a community. One of them is celebrate. You need people to celebrate with. You need people to go out to Christmas on 5th and Dia de Losa and all the fun activities that we have here at Baylor, and you need some time to be able to celebrate and people to celebrate with. As we already mentioned, it's good for your mental health. You need the ability to just get out and do fun things that relax you, that engage another part of you than just your mind. But ultimately, and one thing that I find particularly important is belonging. Belonging. We know from all of the data that if you find a place to belong here at Baylor, your chance of success goes up exponentially. And so when we talk about belonging, this is more than just buddies that you just happen to be thrown in. This is more than just classroom friends. This is more than just the people that you incidentally happen to make a connection with here at Baylor. We want you to think critically about the people you're going to surround yourself with, because the other thing, and I'm going to land the plane on this, is the last thing I want you to put in your carry-on. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be when you graduate from Baylor? And how are you going to become that person? Because friends, academic success does not guarantee character. There are a lot of highly educated people in this world who are just jerks. That classroom doesn't actually guarantee character formation, but there's a lot here at college that can go one way or another into making you a better person or not. But this is on you. This is something that you get agency over, something that you get chance. And if you start thinking about that now, the likelihood that you will be the person you want to be when you cross that graduation stage, that you will be a person who is better than the person who walked in these doors, a person who goes out into communities and is a game changer in your communities, a person who is service-oriented and others-focused. That's what we want for you. But we want you to want that for you and make choices here that will enable that journey for you. And some of that is just surrounding yourself with people who are going to help you along that journey. So make your choices well. Think about these things, because this is all part of college life. And as a result, you guys can get out of the Baylor experience what you were hoping to get out of. Now, there's a lot of folks here at Baylor, and as you're choosing your people, I hope you think about the fact that you should not just stay around people who think and act just like you. There are a lot of people here at Baylor that we want you to stay with, people who are different than you. But there's ways we do that are healthy and good. And to talk about that, we're going to start the second part of our program, which is from our friends in Multicultural Affairs. But before I invite them up, I'm going to ask you guys to do something we do at my church every Sunday. It's called Passing the Peace. Just want you to stand up and turn to someone around you and say, hey, I'm super glad that you were here. So let's all stand up and say, hey, you're here, I'm here, thanks for being here. My colleague, my friend, the Associate Director of Multicultural Affairs, a man who just defended his doctoral dissertation earlier this week. He is the new Dr. Jeffrey Gribbs.
I promise y'all, if I ever become famous to where I start speaking on the road, I'm inviting Erin just to give an introduction. She makes me feel so nice and warm on the inside. But how are y'all doing? Y'all energy sound a little dull. You know, if y'all gonna be like this, TCU got orientation going on. We can see y'all down there. Sorry, my GA graduated from TCU. She just gave me the ugliest look. But that's okay. You know, let's try this again. How are y'all doing today? Alright, y'all need to be excited to be here at Baylor. As much money y'all paid to come here, y'all need to. It costs a lot, but you know, we're not going to get into that today. My name is Jeffrey Griggs, as they said, and I have the honor and privilege of being the Associate Director here in the Department of Multicultural Affairs, and I'm going to talk to you about what it means to be a part of the Baylor family, because we are the Baylor family. We, not just meaning us as faculty and staff, but you all, because y'all pay money to be a part of the family now, but I mean, because y'all are here to get an education, y'all are here to grow and learn under what we have here at Baylor. We're going to play this or that. Now, it's a very simple game. Literally, I'm just going to give you some categories, tell you a choice, and you're going to stand up for either this or that. Like, it's not that hard. If it is, UT got orientation in a few weeks. I mean, you know, their education requirements are a little less strict. We can go ahead and get you situated there. But, you know, to test it out, I'm going to give y'all a little trial run. A very simple one. So if we go ahead and go to the first one here. If my clicker works. There we go. Waffles or pancakes? If you prefer waffles over pancakes, stand up. Okay. Okay, nice amount. Nice amount. Y'all go ahead and sit down. Y'all go ahead and sit down. Okay, so it's a nice amount of you all that said waffles. Where are you getting your waffles from? Okay. Look. Let me break this down to y'all a little bit for a second. Who in here is from Waco? See, how many Waffle Houses in Waco? No, there's none. Like literally, we have absolutely no Waffle Houses in Waco. So this is where I could utilize you all to help me. This is a movement that I've been starting for quite some time. I need you all, when y'all get here in August, find somewhere where you can register to vote here in Waco. I need you all to do that. When the mayor is up for election, we're all going to show up as a unified front. Y'all can meet Dory, and she will help you all get registered to vote if you need to. She's right there waving her hand in the back like the American flag. So, if you all would literally just register to vote when you all get here, we all can, as a unified front, just show up at the debates between whoever wants to be mayor, and we can literally just sit here and say, which one of y'all gonna give us a Waffle House? And whoever gives us a Waffle House, they're gonna get about 4,500 votes, because that's how many of y'all that are in BU 26, and then I got some upperclassmen that are down to help as well. So it's one of those things, y'all, it's important. I had to literally drive to Dallas last week just to get some Waffle House. And, it's sad because the way gas is right now, I'm trying to debate if it was really worth it, but, it's one of those things I appreciate it, but, we really need a Waffle House in Waco. It just makes sense. It's a Waffle House in Waco. Like, it just has a nice ring to it. For those of you all that selected pancakes, where are you getting your pancakes from? Mom. Your mom, okay. Is your mom willing to make pancakes for everybody?
I got you.
Okay, you got me. Anywhere else that you are getting pancakes other than your mom who's not going to cook for all 300 people in the room? IHOP. I'm happy to hear IHOP. I'm happy to hear Mom. I'm glad nobody said Denny's. Denny's is nasty out there. Yeah. So there's a reason Denny's is starting to close everywhere. Like nobody really likes Denny's. So let's go. Y'all see how easy this is? Very simple, very simple. We're going to enjoy this for a little bit. Phone call or text. If you prefer to communicate via phone call over a text message, stand up. Okay. Y'all sit down. I got some questions for y'all. Nice mixed results. That wasn't too bad. Let's deal with the phone call people first. How many missed calls y'all got on your phone right now? None. Somebody said 20. Oh my gosh, I'm never calling you.
93.
How many unheard voice messages you got on your phone? Two.
Probably 74.
Okay, low numbers. It's kind of sad nowadays. They transcribe a voice message for y'all, so I don't know why y'all ain't listening to them, but that's another story. Text message, folks. How many unread texts y'all got on y'all's phone?
274.
Okay.
304.
Look. I'm concerned. What's the purpose of even having text messages? You got to treat your text message like an email. Like, y'all got to start reading some of this.
No.
But that's good. The numbers aren't too bad. I will say this. I'm very happy to hear that you all have unread texts, unheard voice messages, unheard phone calls, because that means y'all have actually been paying attention during orientation. If y'all said 0, I'm like, y'all been on y'all's phone the whole time. Y'all ain't been paying attention to nothing anybody has said the past 2 days. So that's good to see that y'all actually got that going on right now. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. What is worse, doing the laundry or doing the dishes? Let's go this route. Listen to how I ask this. If you prefer to do the laundry over doing the dishes, stand up. Okay, that's way too many of y'all. Sit down. Okay, I got a few questions. How many of you are washing all your laundry in one load? Y'all nasty. That's just wrong. First of all, I'm not even going to approach the conversation about how some garments really don't need to be touching each other. So we're not even gonna go there, but y'all supposed to separate y'all's colors, y'all's whites, y'all's certain.
yeah,
No,
you're right.
y'all can't be washing in one load. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. How long is it taking y'all to wash y'all's laundry? I mean, not just wash, just do all the laundry. Wash, dry, fold.
Yep.
2 hours, somebody lying. Four. Okay, so I want y'all to remember this when y'all are washing y'all's clothes here when you get to campus. First of all, don't be lazy and try to use a Tide truck to have them do it for you since y'all all big about doing y'all's own laundry. You know, make sure y'all do it, but also I want y'all to realize y'all gotta have y'all's clothes out those wash and dryers by a certain time, or somebody gonna take your clothes out for you. You're gonna be upset. But yeah, y'all, ain't no way y'all get clothes done in 4 hours and put them. Y'all parents must love y'all for real, because I know I still got clothes sitting in the dryer and I washed this weekend. So you know, it's one of those things where you're supposed to take your clothes out the dryer right when they're hot and fold them and put them away. If they're room temperature by the time you take them out, you just might as well start the process all over. So there's no use in that. For those of you that say y'all prefer to do the dishes, dishwasher's broke. Y'all still doing dishes? Okay. You know, there's no yellow gloves under the sink to protect your nails and hands. Y'all still doing dishes?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Thanksgiving. Y'all still doing dishes? That's a lie. Don't even say yes. Don't even say it. I know certain people like myself that will let dishes soak and be like, can these just sit there and soak before I wash it? Yeah, y'all shake your head. Y'all don't need to be washing dishes at all. Let's go to the next one. From a small town or a large city. So I'm going to tell y'all the way I like to describe a small town. I like to think about you have an expressway, something similar to 35 that many of y'all took to get here. You have an exit to get off your town, but your town's so small you don't have your own exit. You actually have to get off at another exit and then drive like 30 to 45 into the town to get to your small town. And then by the time you get to your small town, you don't even have like a working stoplight. Like you have like just one color. It's not even all three. It's like a blinking red. Like that's the stoplight for your town. It goes through the center of the city. It's not even a city. Like it's like a village, but we're not gonna get there. Stop signs in your city, they're faded. They're like fuchsia or pink. It's not even red anymore. You have one McDonald's. They don't even have a full dollar menu. When you order a 6-piece nugget, they give you 4, and then they're just a little bit longer to make you feel like they're 6. So it's like a chicken tender, not a nugget. But Walmart closes at 8 because enough of y'all in the city don't want to work, or in the village don't want to work. That's a mean way I would describe a small town, because I know y'all not going to stand up if I say all that. So, let's just go this route. If your town is smaller than what you've seen thus far from Waco, stand up. Okay. Sit down, small town folks. Welcome. So here's my next question. Who thinks they got the smallest graduation class that's not homeschooled? Okay, who thinks they have a graduation class that's less than 10? Okay, I see a few hands. Okay, less than 5. Okay, less than 8. Okay, did y'all graduate together? How many's in your graduation class? 5. Oh, literally 5. How many's in yours? 6. Okay, yeah. Wow. I mean, y'all are shocked, but I will tell you all this. We actually had an orientation session where I had a long conversation with somebody in the middle of orientation because they said they had a graduation class of 1. And I had to have her explain that to me. Because she said literally it was a school, not homeschool, and she had teachers come teach her, which I felt was kind of weird. But and it even got a little bit more crazier when she started talking about graduation. She graduated by herself. She was valedictorian and gave a valedictorian speech to herself. So y'all have to find her. She was about three orientation sessions ago. She literally graduated by herself. So y'all have somebody that was a graduation class of 1 that wasn't homeschooled. Figure that's like, the interesting fact, when you tell 2 truths and a lie, like that's gonna be her. So if y'all ever in a group and hear her say that, you know that it's her.
Ours was 64.
In-state or out-of-state, if you are not from Texas, stand up. Great. Like, give yourself a round of applause. Sit down. Now, here's the $1 million question. Is anybody in the room from Kentucky? Boy, come on down. You get to introduce yourself to everybody. Greatness comes from Kentucky. You know, what's your name? Here you go. Introduce yourself.
What's up? My name is Joseph Sterling. I'm from California, Kentucky. I'm going into pre-business.
Okay, give it up for him. You know, y'all, a lot of legends come from Kentucky. I just want y'all, I'm glad y'all didn't laugh because then I was going to have to ride out every single state. Because, you know, we have the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, is from Kentucky, if y'all didn't know that. Any of y'all watch the Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence is from Kentucky. Any of y'all like music, Jack Harlow, Bryson Tiller, they're from Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky. Like, that's all that matters. So, you know, there's a lot of legends that come from that wonderful state. Who thinks they came the farthest to get here today? Okay, where are you from?
North Potomac, Maryland.
Anybody think they're farther than Maryland? Okay.
Your brother in Canada?
Canada, okay. I think she won. Okay. Well, I want to welcome you all to Baylor, even you Texas folks. Yeah, you know, even being a part of Texas for the past 9 years, y'all make me a little nervous. I mean, y'all do some things just a little bit too much. Like, y'all don't just say a pledge to the American flag. I got to say a pledge to Texas, too. I think that's one of the craziest things, but you know, y'all do y'all. I'm gonna just support y'all from a distance. You know, it's a little hot here in Texas. We'll talk about more of that later. You actually got great weather today. It doesn't last too long, but definitely shout out to my Texas folks, sadly, and my non-Texas folks, but especially Kentucky. Well, I don't even know where California, Kentucky is, but your badge said it, so I trust it. Instagram or Twitter? If you prefer Instagram over Twitter, stand up. Okay, sit down. Y'all rose up like a church choir for a second, like it was everybody in unison. I didn't even give y'all a sign. Let's go this route. Twitter or Facebook? If you prefer Twitter over Facebook, stand up. Okay. Sit down. If you have an actively operating and working MySpace page, stand up. Karen, sit down. If you prefer TikTok over Snapchat, stand up. Okay. Sit down. If you have no social media at all, stand up. Okay. I'm proud of y'all. I don't know how y'all do it. I mean, you go and sit down. I mean, you know, I don't even know how y'all are connected with the outside world. Like, we find out stuff on social media before the news does. So it's what I'm saying. Y'all gonna be late. Like, Baylor gonna raise y'all's tuition. Everybody else gonna know because of social media. Y'all waiting for the email. So, yeah, just worry about it. You know, another one I want to ask, just because my wife's telling me I got to get rid of one of them soon. Netflix or Disney Plus? If you prefer Netflix over Disney Plus, stand up. Okay, sit down. If you are willing to share your streaming password, stand up. I'm going to talk to y'all. I need to reach out to all of y'all before y'all leave here. Don't run off. I'm trying to save a few coins. Y'all know we don't get paid much in education. You know, this one else. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all here. I've been asking y'all about social media for a reason. And you know, I don't even have any shame in my game anymore. So I need y'all to pull out y'all's phone. And I need y'all to follow us on social media. You know, I don't see enough phones coming out. You know, that's okay. If you got an Android, I don't want you following us anyways. But you know, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. Instagram, I would really suggest y'all to follow us on that one. I got numerous reasons why y'all should follow us on that one. Facebook's great, especially if you want to connect with our alumni. But our Instagram one, you know, we had the pandemic that begun a few years ago. Still kind of going through a little bit of it right now. But you know, one thing that we had to pivot and learn to do is how do we connect with students if it's not going to be in person. So we created a lot of virtual programs that actually have gone very successful. So we're going to still continue those, even though we're still planning on doing things in person. So that's just one reason why you should follow us on Instagram. You know, I may give y'all a shout out. If somebody takes a nice picture of me, I may ask the GA to share it on the account. But it has to be a good picture. I need a new profile picture. So don't just be taking pictures of me all crazy now. But I will tell you all this. There is a few reasons why you should follow us. I need you to ignore this part right here. But how many of y'all like free food? Okay, there's not enough hands up. Y'all making me concerned. One, if you like paying for food and you want to pay for lunch today, I've been craving some Chipotle. So we can go across the highway and you can cover my $9 bowl because they have gone up in price and I'm not too happy about that. But one thing I do want to share with you all is that our department has been coined the home of the free food alert. What does that mean? One, a lot of our events have free food. Like, we are very serious about having free food because, one, they will not let us use university money to feed ourselves, so we feed y'all so we can feed ourselves. So a lot of our events do have free food, but then two, we're also going to find out where other free food is on campus because, as I told y'all, I'm on an education budget. We don't get paid a lot. So if there's free food, I'm going to eat it. And then I feel like it's a wonderful thing for me to at least invite you all to eat it as well. But let me tell you how I operate. I want you all to be very clear. I want to be very clear in these instructions that I'm about to give to you on how these free food alerts operate. So if we see a wonderful area is having an event that has free food, we're not going to send out the alert as soon as we see it. One, we're going to wait till the event starts and then check out the event ourselves. We're going to go eat to make sure we have been fed. And then we'll see how much food is left, and then we'll send out a free food alert for the rest of y'all. I gotta eat, y'all. So, you know, it's one of those things. I'm trying to help y'all get y'all's nourishment, but I want to make sure I eat first. So know that those free food alerts are going to come, and you will enjoy that free food that you get on many campus. You really need to find the free food on campus. I don't think y'all understand that, but I'll hammer it more later. The next hashtag talks about MA for everybody, which this is big that we want everyone to understand. A lot of times people see multicultural affairs and it's like, Jeffrey, I don't think this is for me. Yes, multicultural affairs is for everybody. As y'all see in our mission statement here, we talk about encouraging you all to celebrate your own personal culture and heritage while being willing to embrace and learn about the culture and heritage of somebody else. So what does that mean? That means you have grown up these past 16, 17, 18, 30. We don't discriminate when you come to Baylor. So however old you are, we want you to come with what you have learned throughout life. Join one of the many student orgs that we have here. If you don't see a student org that you want to join, there's an easy opportunity to create one. We create numerous orgs every year to where people are using that to find their sense of belonging here while they are at Baylor. But also try something different. Learn about something that's different than what your upbringing was. We talk about not just our mission statement in multicultural affairs, but Baylor's mission statement talks about preparing you all for global and worldwide leadership. What better way to do that than through eating free food with multicultural affairs at our many events? So definitely keep that on your radar. And one way you can do that is we have this wonderful event that happens the first Wednesday of the school year, ran by our wonderful GAs. Chris and Lauren, stand up, wave to people. Give it up for them. Give it up for them. Called Mosaic Mixer. So Mosaic Mixer, I'm going a little too fast. Let's go back for a second. Mosaic Mixer is a giant organizational fair that happens right outside of the building, the Student Union building, on the first Wednesday of the school year. You can meet other students, get connected, meet some upperclassmen. We have numerous organizations that are there, departments, opportunities for you to get connected with them. It is a wonderful time. You see, we have a showcase that happens. Some of our multicultural organizations will be participating. Some of them is probably practicing right now. For a trophy that's a little bit taller than me, we add about a few inches every year. You know, carrying around a 6.5-foot trophy gets kind of difficult, but you know, that's not my problem. That's on them. So, you know, they perform, they showcase a little bit. We're outside, y'all. Yeah, it's hot. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people. Let me go back, y'all. It's hot. I don't think y'all understand that. Like, if you haven't been to Texas in August, it's probably the closest that you'll get to meeting Satan. Like, it is extremely hot. We outside, we got shade. We try to give y'all tons of water, but it's a good time to meet, connect, And the big reason why you should come is that there is free food. Like I keep trying to tell you all, if there's anything y'all need to know before y'all leave, free food, y'all. We got food from different places throughout Waco, where we just want you all to be able to enjoy yourselves a little bit before you have to use that meal plan. So check us out, first Wednesday of school year. I will tell you all this, Mosaic Mixer grew to where we actually taught the university and we actually expanded it into a whole week. So literally, after Mosaic Mixer, we have Black Student Welcome, Latinx Night, Mosaic Asian Night. It's almost like a mini Mosaic Mixer. The question I get every year, Jeffrey, I'm not Black, I'm not Hispanic, I'm not Asian, can I go? Look, y'all, I'm only one of those. So I want you all to understand this is an opportunity for everybody to come and enjoy. But if there is one reason that you need to come, it's because there is free food. Like every single night, y'all, I'm trying to get y'all to understand this. Like y'all want to go to Penland, I'm telling y'all, Penland has this wonderful thing on Wednesdays called Wing Wednesdays. It is great. Like in August when Wing Wednesdays happen, it looks like Wingstop. We got 20 flavors, we got all type of wings, we got boneless, bone-in, whatever you want. By the time it gets to October, around homecoming time, those wings start looking like pigeons. Like they get very small and the flavors start becoming limited. And you're going to be upset that you didn't take advantage of the free food while you could. So definitely remember these events, y'all. It's a wonderful opportunity for you all to get connected. I'm ready to go back to the game now. If my screen's ready to go back to the game, you know. So kind of you. So I'm not going to ask anyone to stand up because I don't want y'all to say I've been a bully, but it's a nice lady here with the Android. Android folks, I'm gonna pray for y'all. I'm gonna pray for y'all. You know, there was a time period where y'all's phones was blowing up on planes, so I really believe y'all the reason flights cost too much nowadays. They gotta be prepared for. Okay, that's fine. I don't even know what you said, but you know, my iPhone will translate it. Team iPhone, we everywhere. I just want y'all to know that I had a specific instance with my iPhone to where it did die. There you go. I know somebody said, your iPhone's got to die. Yes, it died after I didn't charge it for 2 days. But I actually went to a meeting and I needed my iPhone to be charged because I wasn't going to be back in my office. It was pre-pandemic days where every meeting was in person. We had to walk across campus for things before Microsoft Teams and Zoom became big. And my phone had died and I was walking into a bathroom. And somebody saw me walk into a stall. It's like, Jeffrey, is that you? First of all, that's weird. Like, don't talk to me as I'm walking in the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, that's me. What's going on? He's like, man, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good, you know. Upset, my phone's dead. And I got this meeting I'm about to go to. And I kind of need my phone, so I ain't going to be near a charger for about the next hour, hour and a half or whatnot. He's like, oh, really? What type of phone you got? I was like, I got an iPhone. He's like, oh, I can help you. He had a little portable charger, slid it right under the stall, and I used it while I was there. So my phone was good for the rest of the next hour. So see, that's why I say iPhone is everywhere. I'm not gonna have Android people stand up, but there's probably no more than 6 of y'all in this room. And literally, if y'all's phone's dead, y'all in trouble. Like there's no help. Like y'all just in trouble. So if y'all can't rely on each other, y'all can hopefully rely on this woman here in the picture to help you all whenever y'all's phone dies. Hey, this must be an Android. Certain about major or feeling undecided. If you know what you want to major in when you get here to Baylor, stand up. Okay, that's a lot of y'all. Sit down. Quick PSA. If you have to change your major, it's okay. I don't want you to beat yourself up about it. It happens. It happens. I actually remember going through orientation many years ago at my wonderful institution that I graduated from, and they showed me the book for a class at orientation, and I changed majors right there. Like, I just didn't understand, like, the book was huge, and to me, it kind of reminded me of like a 5-subject notebook, so I was like, okay, this book must got all 5 of my subjects in it, but no, it literally was just for one class, so I was like, I can't do that. That's way too much reading. So I changed my major then, but I changed my major later. It actually is crazy how this works. I ended up signing up for this class for a teacher who they told me didn't have a book. So I was excited, saving some money. They said all he did was bring out an overhead projector, talk about some things, you say no, take notes. I was like, oh, that's right up my alley. I'm perfectly fine with that. I took his class. It was a biology class, y'all. So y'all biology people, one, I'm about to pray for y'all too, because y'all gonna need it. But his class, he literally was taking notes as he just had pictures and talk, no book. Please take a class with a book, y'all. Y'all need a book. I'm just saying that. But we had a test, came back a few days later, getting our test back, and he's writing on an overhead projector. He's writing everybody's scores. He didn't put names down. You know, I would have sit here and snitch on him if he did that. But he's writing everybody's scores, showing us the curve and everything. He gets down to the bottom, and he puts a 17, and I'm like, I'm talking to the guy beside me, one of my friends. I'm like, a 17? Like, we got 10 points just for putting our name on the paper. Like, who got a 17? So he's passing the papers back. Everybody's getting their papers back. And, you know, I get my paper back, and I'm like, ooh. So I tapped my friend on the shoulder. It's like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll check you later. And I went to the bathroom, never came back to the class and dropped the class because y'all can figure that pretty much I was the one with the 17. But what I want this to be a message to you all about is you may have some times in college where you are older than a test grade. And it's just inevitable. Like, it may happen. But I want you to understand you can still make it out of it. I want you to use me as motivation that, hey, somehow Jeffrey got a 17 and he's educated and got a job and degrees. Maybe I can do it too. That's what several degrees. Thank you, Lauren. Don't be bragging on me in front of everybody. But one thing I need you all to use that as motivation. You know, I want you all to use it also to have some reflective conversations with yourselves and probably with your parents. I know a lot of times we pick majors on what our parents are happy about. My baby about to be a doctor, lawyer, all that. No, let me tell you all. I had those same dreams and they was quickly shattered. So, you know, if that is your goal, I want you to pursue it, and I want you to pursue it hard, and I want you to understand that there's a commitment that comes until you get into that level. But if you have to change your major, I don't want you to see it as that is the end of the world. I want you to see it as an opportunity for you to figure out what is going to be your purpose, what is going to be your calling, how are you going to not just better yourself, but others that you interact with as well. So remember that if you have to change your major, it is not the end of the world. So, y'all may be sitting there wondering, why did Jeffrey have us play this or that? You know, we argued about waffles, pancakes, Denny's nasty, Android folks, your phones is terrible. I mean, we argued about a few things. One thing I wanted you all to see during this presentation is that you all have some similarities and you all also have some differences. What you realize is that is literally what makes up a family, and we'll talk more about family later on. But I really want you to see that you all come from so many different walks of life, small town, large town, in-state, out-of-state. Only one person was blessed to be like myself and be from Kentucky. Like, it's certain things, but these things are going to bring you all together. You are now a part of the Baylor family, and I want you all to remember that as y'all go through this journey here at this institution. Even when you're going through those tough times, especially around midterms, when you have a lot of tests and different things, utilize those moments as something that you can continue to keep your eye on so you can progress forward. It's going to be hard. I keep telling everybody, if college was easy, everybody would do it. There's a reason why only so many of y'all are in this room right now. Well, it's because we only got 300 seats. But, you know, there's only a reason why the class is as large as it can be. Not everybody can go to a prestigious school like Baylor, especially with our rigorous academics. So we're glad you are here, but we want you all to remember that to motivate you while you're going through this journey. There's one thing I ask you all to remember family as, is I want you all to understand you have your family that helped you get to where you are today. So the family that watched you grow, that was with you, that helped you get to the seat you're sitting in right now. I want you all to remember them. I want you all to make sure while you're here, you contact them. Tell them you love them. Keep in touch with them. Tell them all the craziness that's going on down here. Keep them up to date with what is going on. But I also want you to realize the family that you're about to develop right here at Baylor for the next 4 years. We don't use this word lightly. It's something that we say because we truly mean it. And we want you all to take that to heart when we tell you all that. We want to be a part of y'all's journeys for the next 4 years. And we want you all to be a part of each other's journeys for the next 4 years as well. I think about my wife and I when we got married. The people that stood beside us weren't literally family by blood, minus my sister. I keep forgetting that she was up there as well. But she won't see any of this, so we're good. But you know, the people that were standing beside us are the people that we still celebrate with our accomplishments today, and we even have them be a shoulder of support for us when we're going through difficult times as well. That's what's going to happen with a lot of you all. The people that you connect with during your journey here at Baylor are going to be those that are with you, and they're just like family, to the point that they are family to you. So I want you to remember that. I want you to be able to connect with those during your time here. Talk to them, get to know them. And also I like where something was said about similarities and differences, even that we can work through our differences to still love and be a family and support each other. I say that because we have this message here that talks about hate has no home here. There's a lot of ugly things that have happened throughout the world, and I would be lying to you all if I said Baylor was exempt. We literally have these things that have happened here as well, but I want to challenge you all to be a part of the change that you want to see from a place like Baylor. We do have mechanisms, we have people, we have offices in place like Aaron and myself that are here to support you during your time at Baylor. If you see something wrong, something that's going on that's wrong that you just don't agree with, I want you all to realize that we are here to support you. That family word we talk about, we don't take it lightly. And if you think about family, there are times where you agree with them and there are times you disagree. So we don't expect you all to get here and agree on everything, but we expect you all to address things from a place of love, and we expect you all to sit here and work through these issues as a family. So I ask if you remember anything from this presentation, hate has no home here, but also be willing to be a part of the change that you want to see here at Baylor. So I wanted to show you all this before I let you all go. I got a couple more slides and I'm gonna let you all out here. You see this wonderful screenshot of our department website. It's an iPhone, sorry for Android folks. It's of our website, but it's also of our newsletter. We send out a weekly newsletter called the Inmate Times. Baylor.edu/multicultural. If you want to, feel free to sign up for that. It is literally the first place you're going to hear about free food. If you're a biology major or one of them ologies, a chemistry, something that's going to have you in school for the next 20 years, this is very light on your eyes in terms of reading because it's literally just flyers. We put flyers up of different programs and events that are going on around campus. Plus, we want you all to be able to know where the free food is. So this is a wonderful opportunity to connect with that as well. Additionally, I want to make sure I introduce our wonderful department. They're all not here today because somebody has to still work in the office while we're here. Our director, Miss Pearl Beverly, she is a wonderful lady. You all should get connected with her. Our office manager decided to go on vacation this week, so she's enjoying a beach somewhere while the rest of us are here. But we enjoy hanging with you, so that's not a big deal, but that's Katie Duty. I'm Jeffrey Griggs. Y'all have had the opportunity to listen to me for the last 45 minutes, and I am sorry. Shirley Wong is our senior coordinator for outreach and inclusion. Our wonderful graduate apprentices, Lauren and Kristen. Y'all go ahead and stand up again and wave at the people, even though Lauren's from TCU. Caitlin Anderson is our ministry associate, and then she's not up here because she's leaving us in August, but Isabella's graduating, and she works in our office. She's graduating in August, so give it up for Isabella. There's two